Hello, and welcome back to Slow English, the channel where you learn English through simple, real stories. Today's story is called 4 Days in Lisbon. This is an A2 level story. The words are simple, the sentences are short, and I will speak slowly and clearly. The story is about a young woman called Rosa. She is traveling to Lisbon, Portugal, alone for the first time. She has never been there before. She does not speak Portuguese, but she has 4 days, a small bag, and a lot of excitement. Are you ready? Let's begin. Rosa's plane landed at Lisbon Airport at 2:30 in the afternoon. She collected her bag from the carousel, walked through arrivals, and stepped outside into the sunshine. It was warm, much warmer than home. The light was different too, brighter, more golden. She stood for a moment with her face in the sun and smiled. She had booked a small hotel in the Alfama district, the old part of the city, with narrow streets and colourful tiled buildings. She had read about it online and seen the photos. Now she was actually here. She found the metro station inside the airport. She bought a travel card from the machine, tapping through the menus carefully, choosing English when it offered, and loaded it with enough credit for 4 days. The metro was clean and easy to navigate. She counted the stops on the map on her phone. 7 stops to Baixa Chiado, then a short walk. She sat back and watched the city appear through the window as the train rose above ground. White buildings, orange rooftops, the wide blue river in the distance. "Wow," she said quietly, to nobody in particular. The hotel was called Casa Azul, Blue House. It was a small guest house on a steep cobbled street. The front door was painted deep blue. There were flower boxes in the windows. Rosa stood outside with her bag and checked the address on her phone. Yes, this was it. She pushed open the door. Inside, the reception was small and warm. A woman in her 60s sat behind the desk. She had white hair and a bright, welcoming smile. "Host, boa tarde. Welcome. You must be Rosa." "Rosa. Yes, hi. Boa tarde. My Portuguese is not very good, I'm afraid." "Host. No problem at all. I speak English very well. I am Maria. Welcome to Casa Azul." She handed Rosa a small envelope with a key inside. "Maria, you are in room 5, top floor. Good view of the river. Breakfast is from 8 to 10 downstairs. And if you have any questions about the city, places to eat, things to see, just ask me. I have lived here all my life." "Rosa, that is incredibly helpful. Thank you, Maria." "Maria, do you have plans for this evening?" "Rosa, not really. I just arrived. I thought I'd walk around a little." "Maria, perfect. Go down to the waterfront, the Ribeira, beautiful at sunset, and try the pastéis de nata, the custard tarts, from the bakery on the corner. They are the best in Lisbon. Do not eat dinner first." Rosa laughed. "I won't. Thank you." Rosa dropped her bag in the room, which was small and simple, and had, as promised, a beautiful view of the river, and went out. She followed Maria's advice and walked down to the Ribeira. The waterfront was wide and busy. People sat at outdoor cafes, drinking wine and coffee. Street musicians played further along. The river, the Tagus, was enormous, shining gold and pink in the late afternoon light. Across the water, she could see a suspension bridge, red and elegant. She found a free bench and sat down. She took out her notebook. She always travelled with a notebook, and wrote 3 words: warm, golden, enormous. Then she put the notebook away and just sat and watched. After a while, she found the bakery Maria had mentioned. She bought 2 pastéis de nata, small, warm, custard tarts with a caramelise top, and ate them standing outside on the pavement. They were, without question, the best thing she had eaten in months. She bought 2 more. Rosa spent 4 days in Lisbon. On the second day, she took the famous yellow tram, Tram 28, through the narrow streets of Alfama. She held on tightly. As it rattled around corners, she was sure it wouldn't fit through. It always did. She visited the São Jorge Castle, which sat on top of the highest hill in the old city. From the walls, she could see the whole city spread below her. The red rooftops, the white buildings, the river, the bridge. She ate at a small restaurant down a side street, where a waiter named Tiago brought her a plate of bacalhau, salted cod with potatoes and olive oil, and said simply, "This is what we eat. You will like it." She liked it very much. On the third day, she took the ferry across the river. She stood on the deck as the boat crossed and looked back at the city from the water. It looked like a painting. She visited a flea market in the afternoon. Rows of old books, vintage maps, handmade jewelry, second-hand clothes. She bought a small blue tile with a bird painted on it. €5, she would put it on her kitchen windowsill at home. On the 4th day, her last, she walked slowly. No plans, no map. Just turning left and right and up and down the steep cobbled streets, finding little squares with fountains, yellow cats sleeping in doorways, washing lines strung between buildings. She got lost 3 times. She did not mind at all. On the morning of the 5th day, Rosa packed her bag and went down for breakfast. Maria was in the dining room, pouring coffee. "Maria, your last morning, how was it? Did you enjoy Lisbon?" Rosa: "I loved it. I didn't want it to end." Maria: "Good." Maria smiled and sat down across from her. "What was your favorite thing?" Rosa thought for a moment. Rosa: "Honestly, sitting by the river on the first evening, with the custard tarts, just watching." Maria: "The simple things are always the best." She poured Rosa a coffee. "Will you come back?" Rosa: "Yes, definitely. Next time longer." Maria: "Next time go to Sintra. 1 hour by train. Beautiful palaces in the forest. You will love it." Rosa: "I'll write that down." She finished her breakfast slowly. Bread, butter, local honey, a small bowl of fresh fruit. She drank 2 cups of coffee. She was in no hurry. At 9:30, she picked up her bag. Maria: "Safe travels, Rosa. It was lovely to have you." Rosa: "Thank you, Maria, for everything. The tips, the tarts, all of it." They shook hands warmly. Rosa walked out the blue door, down the cobbled street, and toward the metro. Rosa's plane took off at 1:15. As it climbed above the city, she looked out of the window. She could see the river, the Tagus, wide and gold below. She could see the bridge. She could see the red rooftops of Alfama. Then clouds. She opened her notebook and looked at the words she had written on the first evening. Warm, golden, enormous. She turned to a new page and wrote more. Tram 28, castle walls, bacalhau, the tile with the bird, Maria, the river at sunset. Come back. She closed the notebook and looked out at the white clouds. 4 days, that was all. But she felt different from the person who had arrived. Lighter somehow, fuller, as if something had been added that she hadn't known was missing. She would come back. She was already sure of it. And that is the end of today's story. 4 days in Lisbon. I hope you enjoyed it. Travel vocabulary is very useful in everyday English. Words like arrivals, guesthouse, waterfront, ferry, flea market, and local are all common when you travel. And remember, You don't need to speak the language to enjoy a place. A smile, a notebook, and 2 custard tarts are a very good start. If you enjoyed this story, please subscribe and click the notification bell. A new story every week. Thank you so much for listening, and I will see you next time.